know what, we got to make the field short, make sure McCoy doesn't run the ball, and we got to stop the big plays this week.
Thanks a lot, DeMarcus.
All right, thank you.
And the Cowboys defense is also without its quarterback. Linebacker Sean Lee is missing his third straight game with a neck injury. He'll be replaced by rookie Devontae Holloman, who's making just his second NFL start. But they do get back cornerback Norris Claiborne, who missed the last 4 games with a hamstring injury. Meanwhile, the Eagles starters, well, they're as healthy as they've been all season long.
And Philadelphia's been healthy all season long as well. Thank you, Michelle. NFC East Championship. The Eagles, with a win or even a tie tonight, they'd get the 3 seed, host the Saints next week. Cowboys would need a win to get the 3 seed and host the Saints. If they were to wind up in a tie, they would be the number 4 seed. So, game 256, you've got Dwayne Harris, who's missed the last 2 games and 3 of the last 4 with a hamstring pull. Alex Henry to kick off. Philadelphia won the toss and deferred. So 90,000 waving towels here in Arlington, Texas, and off we go, the final game of the regular season, and it starts with a run back from 6 yards deep. And Harris, who can be electric, takes it back to the 23-yard line as we take a look at the Cowboy offensive starters.
Kyle Orton, Purdue.
DeMarco Murray, Oklahoma.
Dez Bryant, Oklahoma State.
Miles Austin, Monmouth University.
Jason Witten, Tennessee.
James Hanna, Oklahoma. Tyre Smith, USC.
Ron O'Leary, University of Memphis.
Travis Frederick, Wisconsin.
Mackenzie Bernardo, Bentley.
Doug Free, Northern Illinois University.
And so the Dallas Cowboys from the 23-yard line. Kyle Orton's been around a long time. Broke in with the Bears in 2005. And they'll start the game with Murray over the left side. And Murray, who's been playing brilliantly of late, up to the 29-yard line. Orton, when he took over in Chicago, came in as a rookie, and Rex Grossman got hurt, so he wound up as the starter through the 2005 campaign. And they called him at that time, and that's exactly what it was, a game manager. His stats weren't very good, but the Bears did play well before Grossman got back at the end of the season. Then he went to Denver in the Cutler trade, to Kansas City a couple of years ago, and now here as the backup to Tony Romo, taking very few snaps over the 2 seasons. But tonight is his night. Out of the gun on 2nd down and 4, and they'll pick up a first down here as Dez Bryant cuts across the field and takes the ball to the 44-yard line. Fletcher and Allen run him down there.
Well, one of the things that Jason Garrett talked about is he's going to have to give Kyle Orton a chance to throw on run downs. They had a nice run on 1st down, but he knew if he just continually asked Kyle Orton to pick it up on 3rd and 7, it was going to be a long night. So he felt confident. They're going to let him throw the ball early and get him out of some of these run defenses.
They signed a fullback, that's Tyler Klutz, number 44, about a month ago. So he fronts Murray, and Murray then cuts it back to the right side to the 47 as we take a look at the Philadelphia defense.
Cedric Thornton, Southern Arkansas University.
Benny Logan, Louisiana State University.
Fletcher Cox, Mississippi State.
Connor Barwin, Cincinnati.
D'Amico Ryans, Roll Tide.
Michael Kendricks, Cal.
Trent Cole, Cincinnati.
Bradley Fletcher, Iowa.
Nate Allen, South Florida.
Patrick Chung, the Ducks.
Kerry Williams, Washburn.
A lot of new Eagles on that side of the ball, picking up free agents and rookies, and Bill Davis is the defensive coordinator. And Orton on 2nd and 8 throws, and it is Bryant who makes the catch, and forward progress will get him into Eagle territory, but a couple of yards short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and 2 as Garrett calls the play in.
Yeah, and I think the biggest difference with Kyle Orton is how quickly he gets rid of the football. You know, we've seen Tony Romo over the years, and his number 1 asset is his ability to make pass rushers miss. Well, on the flip side, Kyle Orton is going to make pass rushers miss because he gets the ball out of his hand quickly. So a very different look now for this Philadelphia Eagles defense.
Of course, Tony extends the plays. Orton, not so much, obviously, and now you've got action up front. And you're going to get an offside and 1st down now because it was 3rd and 2. Gene Steratore is the referee. Head linesman came in to signal offside.
Defense number 72. 5-yard penalty results in a 1st down.
That was Cedric Thornton. Chip Kelly, last 4 years at the University of Oregon, he was the hot college coach. interviewed by a number of teams, a lot of interest in him, and he wound up going to Philadelphia mainly, as he told us, because of Jeff Lurie and the stability of the organization. For Jason Garrett, he finishes his 3rd full year as the head coach here under Jerry Jones in Dallas. From the 43, Murray, big hole, and then making it an ankle tackle is D'Amico Ryans, the former Houston Texan, after a gain of 5, 2nd and 5.
Well, one of the bread and butter plays is this stretch play, and on this one you see Cedric Thornton kind of loop around the backside of it, and it really is what created the running lane. So far to start this game, and Jason Garrett has to be absolutely thrilled. He's got DeMarco Murray running well, and he's got his quarterback with a little bit of a hot hand.
3 runs and 2 passes thus far. Murray's averaged over 100 yards rushing per game through the last 6. Now Orton backs into the shotgun, and Witten comes in motion to the slot, and the pass is flared out to the outside to Murray, and Murray with a first down. Cary Williams makes the stop. So DeMarco Murray, who is now in his 3rd year, picked in the 3rd round in 2011 out of Oklahoma, had some injury issues over the past 2 years, but he's healthy, and what a play he made last week, the pass from Romo on 4th down and goal to win the game.
And here makes a little statement at the end of this one with Cary Williams. And the Philadelphia Eagles didn't like it, but I like it a lot. When you're talking about a running back, a big physical guy, don't let those corners just push you out of bounds. Make a little statement with it.
Number 28. Murray again, throws the right side and loses the ball, and it winds up going into the hands of Bradley Fletcher. So the Dallas Cowboys starting the drive and looking very, very good. Then all of a sudden, Murray with a fumble and right into the arms of Bradley Fletcher for the turnover. Eagles with the ball when we come back. Sunday Night Football being brought to you by Southwest Airlines. You can find our fares online only at southwest.com. By Toyota, let's go places. By Wendy's, now that's better. And by Miller Lite, not just a good time, it's Miller time. Down at Zoo, we named several different species of birds. For this week only, all eagles referred to as starbirds. For what it's worth, Philadelphia with a turnover. The takeaway, the ball is at the 23 as they get set for their first offensive play. And Foles spinning around, tries to set up the screen, nothing is there. And he has to throw it into the ground. 2nd down.
Go back to DeMarco Murray's fumble, and a young superstar, I think, emerging in Michael Kendricks. Here's a guy that's played outside linebacker, now inside linebacker, and his ability to blitz from the inside is really making a difference. Got right on the hand of DeMarco Murray and calls the fumble.
Huge difference between the Eagles last year and this year in the turnover ratio as they give the ball to LaShawn McCoy, who's going to win the rushing title, to the 30-yard line. So McCoy winning the rushing title this season. His first carry of the night. He's been spectacular, not only on the ground, 1480, he's already cinched that, unless somehow he'd lose a couple hundred yards in carries tonight, but also in coming out of the backfield and catching the ball. He comes out, Chris Polk comes in. It's 3rd down and 3. That's Jackson across the formation in motion, and wide open and making the catch is Polk. And Polk will get run down by Holloman from behind, and then he needs some help as well from Church as he takes the ball all the way to the Dallas 35-yard line on a 3rd down and 3 for 34 yards.
Yeah, well, they're just going to have a little pick play come down inside here and pick the man coverage against Devontae Holloman. A lot of inexperience now on this linebacker core, and if you want to play man coverage, you know when you play Philadelphia, they are going to make you play those pick plays for sure.
Eagles going no huddle around the clock, and then it is Foles who will keep it himself. And next to nowhere, George Selvey is there for the stop.
Well, the first job is for DeMarcus Ware to contain anything to the outside. They're trying to funnel everything inside. Nicely done there. A little bit of an unusual formation. Check out big Lane Johnson, the right tackle, playing wide out. You see it all with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Everything. It's Chip Kelly. It's what he did in Oregon. It's what he's been doing all season in Philadelphia. McCoy getting around the corner, turning the corner. Flag is down. Would have a first down just for the moment. And we'll get Gene Sterator's second call of the night. Gene trying to catch Ed Hockley in the biceps race. I still give it to Ed.
Offense number 65. 10-yard penalty. Replay. Second down.
Well, that's Lane Johnson, who lined up as the wideout, and this time back to his conventional spot and the penalty.
They're trying to contain everything the Eagles do in that box. And yet now with LaShawn McCoy, you just don't know where he could possibly go. Now they're already outside the edge. If you let the Philadelphia Eagles get outside, it opens up their entire offense. They have to be better at setting those edges.
2nd and 20. And here's McCoy. Well, as Chip Kelly said, and tackle made there by Jason Hatcher, he uses the whole field, all 53 1/3 yards.
Yeah, and he does it with the wide receivers, running backs, and we've already seen tackles on the outside. But what that does for the running game as well is it really spreads the defense out, so it gives McCoy multiple lanes in here to try and run the football.
3rd down and 19. 8 minutes to go in the quarter. They have to get to the 26 to convert. A little less than that, the field goal range, and that pass is caught. Riley Cooper tackled by Claiborne, so they don't get the first down, but they are within field goal range for Henry.
Well, they drop back and play just a straight zone. It's really the first time they've done that here tonight. They've been man-to-man all evening long, and Devontae Holloman just missed getting there. That's his drop zone, and you could see maybe by a foot didn't get there. And there's Jason Peters working against the #1 threat as the Philadelphia Eagles consider him, DeMarcus Ware, even though DeMarcus has had an off year by his standards.
Alex Henry, this will be a 47-yard attempt, roof closed. And Henry is able to convert, so they cash in on the turnover for 3. And Philadelphia takes the early lead. Check it out at NBCSports.com Live Extra. You can chat with Michelle and with Mike Florio. And also tonight, our social media guests will be Brian Westbrook of the Eagles and Drew Pearson, the great former Dallas Cowboys, are aboard. Jerry Jones has owned this team now for 25 seasons. 3 Super Bowl titles back in the 90s, a lot of thrilling wins, and some of the most gut-wrenching losses imaginable. He has seen it all.
Sean Lee doing a little coaching over there with Devontae Holloman.
And Ernie Sims is also in there, who is inactive as the kick is downed in the end zone. And the Cowboys will begin their second possession from the 20 with 7:07 to go in the quarter. NFC East Championship at stake. Kyle Orton, 3 different times during his career, he's been a starting quarterback when his team allows less than 20 points. He's pretty good, 26-4. They allow 20 or more, 9 and 30. And of course, the Dallas Cowboys come in with a very porous defense tonight. They're down 3-0. This drive begins from the 20-yard line. It's dumped off underneath to DeMarco Murray, and Murray surging ahead for a gain of 19. Well, one thing about Kyle Orton, he's been in big games before. He's been in the spotlight before, so he's not going to be nonplussed tonight.
And the interesting part about him is he has taken 0 practice reps with the first-string offense until this week, which is pretty remarkable, really, that you could ask a guy to sit there on the bench all year, not practice with the first team, and now with everything online, here you go, deliver for us.
At 0 from the start of the regular season. Tony Romo missed a lot of time in OTAs and mini camps last year, so Orton did get a lot of work in there. While Tony was on the mend from a surgery for a cyst on his back, as Murray picks up about 4 yards here. Orton has begun the game 4 of his first 4. He was with the Chicago Bears after his rookie year when he was a starter due to Grossman's injury. He was there when they went to the Super Bowl in 06, wound up losing to the Colts, but did wind up with an NFC Championship team, even though he didn't play it down that year.
And his head coach knows a thing or two about being a backup quarterback here as well.
Yes, he does. And Jason Garrett's had some moments in the sun coming in relief. And Orton will dump it off to Murray with pressure in his face, and then Murray delivers a blow. Michael Kendricks put the pressure on, but what a shot on Damian Square.
Well, first of all, DeMarco Murray is going to have to be able to block this guy. Watch the guy we were talking about before, Michael Kendricks, come around. We saw him against Forte a week ago destroy him. That time Orton able to sneak it out just in time. And so far, I don't think we could ever ask more of Kyle Orton. And look at the finishing blow on Damian Square.
5 of 5 now. Joseph Randle comes into the game. He is the running back. Murray was hurt in Philadelphia. Randle played that day. Here is Witten making his 62nd catch of the season. He's tackled there by Allen. It's a gain of 5.
Well, of course, they've got the new rules about you can't lower your helmet into somebody, and that would have been interesting. Did he line him up in order to deliver that kind of shot with the crown of his helmet? No flag thrown, so we'll see.
2nd and 5 now from the 43-yard line. Running back is Randall. It's Miles Austin setting up in the slot. Pass to Bryant on the outside. And Bryant taken out by Fletcher, setting up a 3rd down.
Des Bryant's an interesting guy, isn't he? I mean, here's a guy that's so electric on the field, does so many great things for this Dallas Cowboys football team, but we've also seen a few moments off the field where he's been caught in some compromised situation, taking his helmets off, did some things on the sideline, walked off the field before the game was over one time. Such an emotional guy, and you love that part of it. But now, as a little bit older guy, he's going to have to learn how to channel what he's doing out there.
3 catches already from tonight. He leads the team with 88. Murray's back in the game. He's in the slot to the left. Norton's going to come the other way, and the pass is behind Des Bryant and incomplete. So Bryant going down the sideline, Orton throwing behind him. And for Kyle, that is his first incomplete pass of the game.
Well, and Des Bryant missed some practice time this week. And I asked Kyle Orton, do you think timing is going to be an issue? You have not worked with him specifically. He said, oh, no. I was the quarterback in OTAs all offseason. This is not the same sort of thing. And it shows up there.
Deshaun Jackson, always capable of running one all the way back. Chris Jones, a guy that Jason Garrett told us the other day, is one of the key guys tonight. He's got to keep Jackson in check, and he will here because it's a fair catch at the 12-yard line. So the Eagles have it for the second time in the game. 3:33 to go in the quarter. 3-0 Philly. On NBC from executive producer Dick Wolf. The toughest city needs even tougher cops. You're looking at a shot of the skyline of Chicago. The show is Chicago PD. It premieres January 8th, a Wednesday night right here on NBC. Now the Eagles from the 12-yard line. McCoy flaring out to the right. Foles going deep downfield, and that's caught by Zach Ertz. Rookie, number 2 tight end out of Stanford, number 2 pick. And for Foles, who's had a tremendous season, that rating leads the league. The all-time record, 122.5, Aaron Rodgers in 2011. He'd have an outside shot at that. It's a complicated method to determine passer rating. If he threw like 4 touchdowns, no interceptions tonight, he might break that record. Here is McCoy, and he gets stopped in his tracks by George Selvey, number 99.
Well, let's give credit to George Selvey, who's really just going to come up here and just make sure LaShawn McCoy does not get outside of him. We were at practice on Friday, and I'll bet you I heard the term set the edge about 60 times in that practice, and Jason Garrett said more like 1,000 this week. That is all they've been talking about. Don't let that guy outside of us.
2nd and 11. You got Scandrick shadowing Jackson as he comes to the left, and you got Cooper making the catch. Cooper tackled at the 31. Let's take a look at the Philadelphia starters.
Nick Foles, Arizona.
LaShawn McCoy, Pitt Panthers.
Deshaun Jackson, California.
Riley Cooper, Florida.
Brent Selleck, Cincinnati.
Zach Ertz, Stanford.
Jason Peters, Arkansas.
Evan Mathis, Alabama.
Jason Kelsey, Cincinnati.
Todd Herman, Saginaw Valley.
Lane Johnson, Oklahoma.
That offensive line intact all season long. Each of them has made all 16 starts. Johnson was their #1 pick last year out of Oklahoma. 3rd down and 7. And Foles with a lot of heat on, able to get it away. And again, that's Zach Ertz for a 1st down. DeMarcus Ware almost got there, but Foles able to remain upright and complete it for the 1st down.
Up and back under against Jason Peters, but I think the plan is now becoming pretty clear. As long as Jeff Heath is going to try and cover Zach Ertz, that's the matchup they're going to like. Jeff Heath is a guy that has started the last couple of games now for J.J. Wilcox, and he is the guy that is going to get the attention tonight.
He's a rookie as Heath out of Saginaw Valley State. And they'll hand the ball off to the huge hole from McCoy. And it's a tackle by Heath to save what would have been a lot more yardage, as he's able to get him at the 36-yard line after a run of 20 yards.
Now, we've talked about the center a week ago, but Jason Kelsey really has proven that he can handle not only plays in space, which is really where he's at his best. The Cowboys thought they might be able to attack him. He's a little smaller center, but so far that one didn't work.
Final minute of the opening frame from the 36-yard line. Play action. Foles dumps it now. They're going to call grounding here. He was in the tackle box.
All over these screen passes. They're basically just wrapping McCoy up as he's trying to get out of the backfield.
Intentional grounding. Offense, number 9. 10-yard penalty. Loss of down. 2nd down.
There's the tackle box right there, and you'll see McCoy just right in the middle of that, sort of throwing it at his feet. But DeMarcus Ware said, there is no way we're letting you beat us with screen passes. If you know anything about the Eagles and LaShawn McCoy, he gets about 5 screen passes a game. Really made the Chicago Bears look bad a week ago with those. Dallas Cowboys obviously been coached up.
Boy, averages 10.5 yards per reception, which is a lot for a running back. Chris Polk comes back into the game now. We saw him earlier catching a pass for 34 yards. 2nd down and 20 now from the 46-yard line. Foles stepping away, thrown against the grain, and he completes it to Jackson, who's close to a 1st down on a 2nd and 20. Tackled there by Wilcox, very close to a 1st.
Amazing, because Deshaun Jackson is trying to set a pick for Riley Cooper coming around here. But after the pick, he stays with it, hustles across the field, and Nick Foles finds him. That's an outstanding hustle play there. His role was to set the pick. Instead, he ends up with a huge 1st down.
Needed 20 and got just that. Brad Smith now comes into the game, the former Jet and Buffalo Bill. And he will take the snap from the 26-yard line. And that's Foles who takes the snap. Smith was in the game outside. And the handoff here for a gain of maybe 1 to LaShawn McCoy. And that'll take us down to the end of the 1st quarter. End of the 1st quarter with the score: the Philadelphia Eagles 3, the Dallas Cowboys nothing. The winner moving on to the playoffs. The loser is done until next season. Sunday Night Football from Arlington, Texas continues after these messages. That's downtown Dallas, Texas. About a 35-minute drive from here as tonight's aerial coverage is being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya wrapping up the regular season as we start the 2nd quarter. It is 2nd down and 9. Jeff Lurie completing his 20th season. Time goes by as the owner of the Eagles, as Foles is under pressure, hit as he throws, lofts one, and somehow it's caught by Jason Avant at the 3-yard line. He and Jeff Heath are there, and Jason Avant able to get position on the rookie and haul it in to set up a 1st down and goal.
Well, here we go again, working against Jeff Heath. And as he takes off, Heath gets a good piece of him, But the one thing that Heath has struggled with this season are bigger receivers going up over the top of him. That is not the first time that's happened. Obviously, Philadelphia has studied that and take advantage there with Jason Avant.
Eagles now at the 3-yard line. That was a gain of 22. Fake to Jackson. Pass caught. Touchdown. LaShawn McCoy takes it into the end zone and takes a bow. That is only the second receiving touchdown for McCoy, who's caught 53 balls this season.
Yeah, what's really tough is when Deshaun Jackson comes across the formation and they use him as a play fake there, and LaShawn McCoy goes out the other way. Since teams have started playing them in man coverage, the ability to use those two guys headed in opposite directions has driven teams crazy. Nobody really has stopped it yet.
11 TDs overall, 9 rushing, 2 receiving for LaShawn McCoy. Henry for the point after. Early in the second quarter, Eagles 10, Cowboys nothing. You look at the Eagles, the passionate fans, and they should play very well at home. 13-19, third worst in the league since the beginning of the 2010 season. You get them out on the road, second best in the league at 18-13. Now the Cowboys down by 10. It's a bouncing ball. Dwayne Harris from the yard deep, and picking up some blocking. Nice run back to the 37-yard line. And that is where Orton and company will go to work. There's high drama in Dallas with the Cowboys. Opening night, we were here against the Giants. They had 6 takeaways and beat New York. Then they lost 51-48 in that game to the Broncos here at home. Blown double-digit fourth-quarter leads to the Lions and the Packers. And then Romo kept the playoff hopes alive with that fourth-quarter comeback last week against the Redskins. They're undefeated against the East. And Tony not only saved the season with that pass to Murray, but maybe some jobs along with it.
Yeah,
who knows?
Jason Garrett said it was his finest hour, and I'm not so sure he didn't hit it right on the button. I think 87 yards there and remarkable fourth-down touchdown.
Otherwise, this game would have meant nothing tonight. Orton throws, and Murray, boy, he's lucky that wasn't picked out of the air by the Eagles. Well, Tony is at home recuperating, and we wish him the very best and a very speedy recovery. And Candace Romo is here tonight, so I'm sure texting back and forth. And for Tony, it's tough. I mean, he's made 47 consecutive starts in his early 30s. What does the future hold? But Jerry Jones telling us before the game he fully expects him to be back at the latest by May as Murray takes the ball up to the 39-yard line. And Chris, we were talking to Jerry before the game, and he said, look, he said, maybe not by April, but by May when we have mini camp, and then clearly by the beginning of training camp, which is pretty much what happened to Tony last year when he missed a lot of OTA time and minicamp time.
But you know, 2 back surgeries in 1 year, and you start going, uh-oh, because they did guarantee $55 million worth of the contract, and so we certainly hope for the NFL and everybody else that Tony Romo has a speedy recovery.
Coming across the line here, but he's only halfway to Peyton Manning's for procedures on his neck.
Defense, number 96, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Benny Logan, he's the rookie at LSU.
Yeah, and Kyle Orton now, it's the second time he's gotten the cheap 5 yards, going to the hard count. So the veteran quarterback paying off. He picked up 1 first down and now took a 3rd and 8 and turned it into 3rd and manageable.
3rd down and 2 from the 44-yard line. Three receivers to the right side. Norton will fire it over the middle, and that'll be caught by Jason Witten, even though the Eagles say no, and the officials come in and say no as well. So Witten could not prevent it from hitting the ground, and it's 4th and 2.
You know, Travis Frederick allowed some penetration, and Kyle Orton had to kind of hook shot that one over the top. Give a little credit inside to Benny Logan, who was really made a difference on this defensive line, solidified them against the run. That's a big get-off right there for the Eagles defense.
Now Jones, the left-footed kicker, booming one in the direction of Jackson. He takes it at the 16 and can only dance another yard or two forward. Dwayne Harris covering on the play. Early in the second quarter, Eagles have the ball and a 10-0 lead, looking to get to the playoffs. Let's look at the Eagles in terms of time and space. Chip Kelly taking over their possession time, something he really doesn't care about. They run no huddle, they run a lot of plays. They could beat the 24-second clock in the NBA. And then there is space.
Spacing the defense he does care about. Deshaun Jackson, we talked about it since they've been playing man coverage against this team. You see these two guys more often than not going to opposite sides of the field. And when you put playmakers like that in space, it really pressures the defense because now you're having to defend a lot of width on that field.
Start with McCoy. Well, you saw Chip Kelly coming over from Oregon. His given name is Charles, so we asked him last week, when did you go from Charles to Chip? He said age 0. He said there wasn't a St. Chip to name me after. He wins the Super Bowl, there'll be a St. Chip with a procession down Broad Street.
No doubt about it. And everybody wearing that T-shirt that he created.
And that's DeMarcus Ware planting McCoy at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's called setting the edge. DeMarcus Ware on the outside is going to come right here and be patient. He knows LaShawn McCoy. They know what he does. He dips inside. He tries to get you to commit and then can simply run around you. Marcus Ware was having none of it.
3rd down and 5. The way this game is going, down by 10 already. You don't want to make too big a deal of this, but pretty important stop here to change the momentum for Philadelphia. You got Deshaun Jackson lined up in the backfield. And now he'll go out to the right. 3 receivers that way, and Foles is going to try to step up, looking for room, and he'll go down to the 22-yard line. Jason Hatcher having a really good year, made sure he stopped them, and when Dallas really needed a 3-and-out, they got one.
But if you wonder how the Dallas Cowboys were able to beat the Eagles the last time, here's how they did it with man coverage, and they get Mo Claiborne back. That certainly is a help. You can see Deshaun Jackson there with Orlando Scandrick on him. Plenty of coverage down the field, and that forced Nick Foles to step up and try to run. But again, dropping those eyes as he does that.
Donovan Jones' punt is fair caught by Dwayne Harris at the 34-yard line. 11:07 remaining in the half. 10-0 Eagles. Well, more than 90,000 here tonight, but more than 100,000 figured to be at Michigan Stadium. New Year's Day, the Winter Classic, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Detroit Red Wings in the big house at the U of M Stadium. New Year's Day, you'll see it at 1 o'clock Eastern right here on NBC. What a scene that's going to be. Back to Arlington, 34-yard line. And Orton will start after the Cowboys got a big 3-and-out on defense. Fake to Murray, buys time. Orton slings it over the middle behind Jason Witten. And he gets popped by Patrick Chung. 2nd down and 10.
Well, Michael Kendricks is a linebacker we've been talking about. One of the more interesting stories we've heard all season long. Here's a guy, player of the game last week in that game against the Bears. He went to the School for Performing Arts growing up and was a dancer. I mean, the whole thing. Ballet, jazz, tap, the whole thing.
There is Murray who gets taken down. And in Fresno, California.
Yeah, and he sort of lived in the inner city part of the city, and all his buddies would kind of make fun of him. He was a soccer player, and he always knew that he was a good athlete. Dad was an athlete and a football player as well. And so he just decided he was going to become a football player. But you can imagine this young man and some of the things he used to hear as a ballet dancer, and now he's coming out here and dominating in the National Football League. He's turning into one of the best young players there is in the game.
Diss him at your own risk. His dad, a very good running back at UCLA in the 70s. Orton deep downfield, and it's pulled in by Terrence Williams inside the 30-yard line. Brandon Boykin with the tackle. So on a 2nd down and 10, deep downfield, they go for 39 yards.
I can't tell you how many times this season, and it happened in that big final drive last week against Washington, that you've seen Terrence Williams come up big. This rookie has been simply sensational this season. And here's sort of the classic delivery by Kyle Orton. Look how far over the top he makes that throw. Kyle Orton has played well so far. Williams had a touchdown in the earlier game against Philadelphia. He's a Dallas native. Now they run a stretch play with Murray getting reeled in after a gain of 3 by Trent Cole. 2nd and 7. And Trent Cole on the outside being asked to play an outside linebacker position. He's been a 4-3 pass rushing defensive end, and he has come a long way this season. Trent Cole, number 58, working on the edge out there himself. And everybody was convinced that he was going to be moving on after this season, but he's had 8 sacks in the last 7 games, and not many of those guys move. Here goes Murray on a 2nd and 7, breaking tackles, picking up a first down. Got in behind a Doug Free block. Under 9 minutes to go in the half right now, and Dallas on the move. Kenzie Bernardo coming out and getting a nice little stretch block, but this stretch play is what you have to stop DeMarco Murray in this running game. And I tell you, DeMarco Murray is running with an edge tonight. He is trying to run over people at the end of these runs. He's not looking to dodge anybody. He's not looking to miss. He's putting his head down and just trying to make a statement. Did have that earlier fumble. He's carried 9 times for 31 yards. He's also caught 3. Pass outside, caught by Gavin Escobar, who dives for the touchdown. The rookie from San Diego State, Gavin Escobar, takes it in for 6. And I'm sure the Cowboys fans have been saying, where has this been all season? Drafted in the 2nd round, was supposed to be that balance on the other side of Jason Witten. Only 8 catches coming in, and in spectacular fashion makes this a ball game. Went right through Nate Allen at the goal line. Bailey for the point after. And so Dallas gets that big defensive stop and able to take it down the field to cash in to make it a 3-point game. Sunday Night Football brought to you by the brilliant minds and machines of GE. By the new Windows, one experience for everything in your life. By U.S. Bank, all of us serving you, member FDIC. And by Hyundai, new thinking and new possibilities. It's the annual Chinese Lantern Festival at the Texas State Fairgrounds. Boy, it got cold outside tonight. Temperature near freezing, but the roof is closed and nice and toasty as always at AT&T Stadium. Brad Smith is back to receive this kick, and Bailey will bang that one through the end zone. And back we go to the Escobar touchdown, his 2nd as a Cowboy. Blown coverage by the Philadelphia Eagles bring both linebackers to make Escobar hot out there, and nobody picks him up. The only 2 that could have was Nate Allen or D'Amico Ryan. Somebody blew the coverage, and Escobar made him pay. But give a little credit to Kyle Orton here in this start, seeing that blown coverage, seeing the hot read, and taking advantage. And the Jones family saluting that as Foles takes over at the 20-yard line. Each team with 159 yards to this point in the game. And McCoy looks like he started to stumble, and Scandra comes up from the corner to take him down. Well, LaShawn McCoy's got to follow the play call here. They've got the trap. They're going to come in here, and he's supposed to come back that way. Instead, he runs right into the traffic. There's no blocking on that side, and the Cowboys just gobble him up. I know it's great when he bounces out and makes big plays, but sometimes you just follow the scheme of the play and you get big plays. Holding him to 4 yards a carry tonight. His average for the season is 5.1. And Foles will check it down to Jackson. And Jackson almost escaped, but now can only get to the 22-yard line. And it will be 3rd down and 8. Well, that's really what makes Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy so dangerous is you don't have to do anything fancy. Just get them the ball in open space, and it's just hard to cover.
Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys, longtime Tampa Bay aide, most recently at USC under his son the last few years, first year here. And he's been under a lot of fire because that defense has been leaky. They're last in the league. Yardage allowed, 3rd down and 8. Foles with a gun and over the middle, and it is caught by Avant to the 39-yard line. Second big catch for him. Barry Church makes the tackle.
Well, I couldn't see the number. I thought it was J.J. Wilcox who tried to come in out of this area of the field, but by disguising it that long, he just left too much room for Jason Avant. They came with a blitz by Devontae Holloman, and Wilcox just waited too long to get there.
From the 39-yard line. Foles has time, but it runs out of time, and then he throws that into the ground, and they're looking to see if that's going to be grounding. You had Nick Hayden, who finally got there. A little conference going on with Sterator.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. Number 81 was in the area.
That's what they wanted. They wanted the bubble screen to the outside when that didn't develop, and they've been doing a nice job taking that away. Nick Foles got caught in traffic, and they were looking as to whether or not that was intentional grounding or not.
Yeah, 81 was in the area. If he was in Grand Prairie, he was close. 2nd down and 10. From the 39-yard line with 6:17 to the half. Ooh, big hole for McCoy to the 45, and on that run he has just eclipsed Wilbert Montgomery, the all-time leader now in rushing yardage in one season in Philadelphia Eagles history.
Well, Devontae Holloman's going to get a lesson here. Watch this. What? No. That's the hard part, especially for those inside linebackers. You've got to decide which side are you going, and McCoy goes the other.
McCoy 48 yards on the ground tonight. Fake it to him. And spun around and down. Darius Wynn is able to come in and sack Foles. Picked up Wynn when Jay Ratliff got released in midseason.
Good coverage on the outside here. Orlando Scandrick doing a tremendous job on the outside, as did Kyle Wilbur, and here's Brandon Carr here. And so now when Nick Foles is having to hold the ball, you could see it. The more tape you watch on Nick Foles, when it's not there right away and he starts to run, he tends to drop those eyes and lose focus down the field, and sacks come.
7-yard sack, 2nd and 17. Here's McCoy. Gets a few to the 48-yard line. Tackle there by Wynn. Well, that Dallas defense really under the gun. The 51 points to Denver, the blown leads to Detroit and to Green Bay. But the one shining moment for that defense was against this Philadelphia team about 8 weeks ago.
So many different players. 19 different defensive linemen have played for the Cowboys this year.
Bunch of receivers to the left. Bryce Brown is in the game at running back. And Foles will uncork it incomplete to the left side, intended there for Jason Avant, who gets hit as well by Morris Claiborne. And so it's 4th and 14 with 4.5 to the half.
Yeah, that's the first time they've had one of those long yardage situations that the Eagles didn't convert. They got one that turned into a 4th and 1 on about a 3rd and 19 that kicked a field goal, and then they had a 2nd and 20 that they converted that led to the touchdown, that time able to get off the field.
Here's Donnie Jones putting the backspin on it. Harris calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 10-yard line, and contacted there, and here comes the flag. Call for the fair catch, contacted by Brandon Boykin, and they throw the flag.
Interesting. Just got his hand in there a little bit, but the officials were not going to let that fly. You call for the fair catch, you get room to make that catch without distractions.
Kicking team, number 22. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down, Dallas.
Move out to about the 25-yard line.
Eagles feel like Brandon Boykin, one of the best outside gunners there is. You can see him looking up for the ball as well. And then just that little slap across the thigh there is what got called. But that was significant because it did move him out a little bit and give him a little more space. And now the Cowboys with a chance to take the lead here in what has been, or at least feels like, kind of a one-sided Eagles affair.
Bob Marinelli coaching the defensive line with a crutch. Going over stuff with his gang in the 25. Orton will throw, caught 28-yard line. Jason Witten makes the catch for a short gain. Garrett telling us the other day, and there's Witten coming up a little gimpy. Garrett was telling us the other day that when you're a backup quarterback, Jason Witten's your best friend. I tell you, watch some of these games come down to the end today. I don't want to shill for the NFL. This was crazy. What a day.
Yeah, and a couple of teams that it meant nothing to them. The Kansas City Chiefs and what they did to fight their way to the end of that one. It was a real tribute to the guys, I'll say that.
Insane. 2nd down and 7. And here's Murray fighting his way for a first down or close to it to the 35-yard line.
Here's that stretch play, and they're trying to come down with Nate Allen and play him here in the box to try and force the Cowboys to go somewhere else. But DeMarco Murray, who has really played well about the last 5 or 6 games, averaging over 100 yards of offense. And right now you get the feeling for the first time, really, he's having a chance to be the dominant force on the offense and not Tony Romo.
3 minutes remaining in the opening half. It's a 3-point game from the 35-yard line. And Murray gets hit in the backfield and is able to pick up about a yard. Brandon Graham right there to stop him. It'll be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, Ron Leary that time had a little bit of a tough time picking that one up. But now you've seen Kyle Orton, I think, prove himself. And I really felt like coming into this game, if Kyle Orton could get out of the first quarter and still be in contention and still be in the game and not make one of those big mistakes, and he has done exactly that. Jerry Jones paid this guy a lot of money to be a backup quarterback, and it's all chips to the middle of the table tonight.
2nd and 9. Orton rolling left, and now he's going to just throw it away. Orton's been around since 05. We were talking to him the other day, and we said, what's the high point of your career? He said, when I was a rookie, opening day for Chicago. Grossman had gotten hurt. He takes the reins of the Bears. He walks onto the FedEx Field lawn. Low point, got released by Denver, lost his job to Tim Tebow shortly after his daughter was born. He's going from Denver to Kansas City.
He's sitting in a hotel room in Kansas City, and he barely knows his 8-week-old daughter, and he said, low point, no question.
That's it. Looking for another high point tonight. This may eclipse opening day in 05 if he can get him to the playoffs. 3rd and 9. And that pass is taken in for a first down by Jason Witten. So Witten takes it for a first down, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning in Arlington. Philly 10, Dallas 7. So at halftime coming up, Aaron Rodgers leads the Packers into the playoffs against the Bears. Unbelievable game in San Diego. Chargers grabbing the final playoff spot in the AFC. And the playoff schedule will be revealed at halftime on the Toyota halftime as you look at the view outside 30 Rock. He was carried after that last play. A wink and a nod.
Think Vincent Barty ever did that to Bart Starr? Maybe Paul Horner.
From the 47-yard line on first down, Orton throws in. It is intercepted as Witten couldn't handle it. Picked off by Michael Kendricks. So the linebacker we talked about before is able to shadow Witten and get the big interception.
Jason Witten's a great player, but you've got to open your hips and make this catch. He tried to reach back across his body and make it. You just open those hips and turn around and just catch it underhand. It's not that hard of a catch. And for Kyle Orton, a little behind, yes, but you expect Jason Witten to make that play.
Second turnover. The other was the Murray fumble on the opening drive. So a lot of the air is let out of the building at the moment. The Dallas D will try to stiffen. Philadelphia trying to extend its lead. First down from the 49-yard line. Rolling out. Look at that time. All the time. Going deep and hauling it in is Brent Selleck. Devontae Holloman back there with him, and Brent Selleck, who's been silent to this point tonight, makes a lot of noise there. 35 yards.
Holloman can't have better coverage. All over him, down the field. And Nick Foles did what a veteran quarterback would do. Just throw it up high and let Selleck make a play. Tremendous.
From the 14 to the outside he goes, and that is caught by Selleck. Touchdown. Woo! And he takes a shot from Church at the end of the play, but the turnover and 2 quick plays to Selleck for the score.
Well, we've got back-to-back blown coverages for touchdowns. Watch this. Kyle Wilber is going to come on the blitz, and there is nobody there. I mean, there's no pick, there's no nothing. That is just another blown coverage. And you just wondered if that interception didn't unsettle this defense. They're thinking, oh boy, we're going into halftime with a chance to have the lead. And now look.
Henry for the 17th point with 1:19 to play in the half. And Philadelphia up again by 10. Witten can't handle it. 2 passes to Selleck. 17-7.
There's Jason Witten on the sideline, a guy that is no question been one of the most dynamic players the Dallas Cowboys have ever had. Wasn't an easy catch, but certainly one that I guarantee you he would tell you he should have made, or at least not tip it up in the air. But for Selleck, he is the guy that Chip Kelly gives so much credit to when we talk about the running game of LaShawn McCoy, his ability to block on the edge, and now for 2 weeks in a row he's got touchdown passes.
Selleck's 6th touchdown catch of the season. Dallas will get it at the 20. Here's some sound from before the game here.
We play with the will that won't be denied. It's a movement we will never get back. Okay? We're 60 minutes with everything you got. Everything you got. You got me? You got me? We need all the energy you got tonight. Empty the tank. Empty the tank. It's win or go home. Win or go home, boys. Give me your best. I'm going to give you my best. Give me your best tonight. Play for the man next to you. Give it all up, okay? We don't leave here without the dog tonight.
Pretty much the way Fred Godelli talks to us before the game. From the 20-yard line on first down. 1:19 to the half. Snap a little low, but he gets it away. Witten makes the catch, and Kendricks takes him out after a gain of 8. Dallas has all of its timeouts.
And Michael Kendricks comes up and he's holding his arm or something. They tried to fake that blitz over the center and get him out there late. That is one to keep an eye on. That guy has been probably the MVP so far for the Philadelphia Eagles with the forced fumble early when it looked like the Cowboys had it going, then the interception.
Favoring that right arm or wrist at second down and 2 from the 28. Blitz coming. Orton stepping up. Orton's going to run. And to the 37 he goes. So everybody covered. Kyle is able to slide to a hold, and then they will take a timeout with 69 ticks left in the half. Orton certainly holding his own as you look at the numbers there. The 1 interception off the pass that Witten couldn't handle. Meanwhile, Foles, 2 touchdowns, and let it be noted that this season Foles now has 27 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. Unheard of.
He has been brilliant, and you know, for a guy that started the season as a backup, for him to come in and learn this offense the way that he has, and his ball handling. The former basketball player was recruited heavily as a basketball player. We were watching them pregame warm-up. They look like the Harlem Globetrotters out there. They're doing the weave that the Globetrotters used to do. So it's about ball handling and deception and misdirection, and Nick Foles seems to be tailor-made for it.
Texas kid is Foles, grew up in Austin, went to the same high school that produced Drew Brees. From the 36-yard line. And they rush 5, and the pass is caught, and it's Witten, and Witten is inside the 40 for a first down. Chung was there with him, and that took only 7 seconds. 1:02 stopping the clock going out of bounds. Gain of 28.
Identification, the key here. You can see Kyle Orton now. He is pointing out Michael Kendricks. He thinks he's the one coming. They get it right, which means that offensive linemen and backs are over there to pick it up, which gives Jason Witten a chance to work one-on-one on the outside. That was by the quarterback at the line of scrimmage, identifying what the Eagles were doing defensively.
Kendricks had been covering Witten, as you know, because he had to pick the ball. Is at the 36-yard line. Out of the gun. Four-man rush. Orton hit as he throws. Witten again, and Witten is able to lunge for a first down to the 25-yard line. And Garrett with 2 timeouts in his pocket, but Orton will come up to the line here.
They're keeping a safety over the top on Dez Bryant, so Kyle Orton doing the smart thing, working to his tight end in single coverage.
Again, a 4-man rush. Over the middle into traffic and incomplete, intended for Cole Beasley. First time he's been targeted tonight. Covered by Boykin, stops the clock with 34 seconds. 2nd and 10.
And Beasley's done a nice job in there, but Brandon Boykin really has become this go-to guy now defensively. 5 interceptions, leads the Philadelphia Eagles. Had that interception for a touchdown last week against the Chicago Bears, a 4th-round draft pick. And talking to Howie Roseman, he said we were sweating it out. He was by far the highest guy on our draft board. We were sweating out whether or not he'd fall to us, and they were thrilled.
Howie, the Eagles GM, 2nd down and 10. Orton going for it all and incomplete. Bryant was there, but that's not even close. Carey Williams with the coverage on the play. So it's 3rd and 10 with 29 seconds.
Watch Trent Cole in to Tyron Smith here. I mean, that is a shot coming wide off that edge and hit Tyron Smith right underneath the chin and almost got there. Whew. Would not want to be standing in front of Trent Cole when he drops the hammer like that.
The Tyron will go to the Pro Bowl. Cole gives away almost 50 pounds to Smith. 3rd and 10.
Now we get some one-on-one on the outside with Dez.
Bryant, bottom of the screen. And they throw a pass to Witten, but that's going to be taken out of bounds by Allen. So a little flare to the outside, and it's going to be a medium deep field goal attempt here. His timeout is taken by the Dallas Cowboys. 4th down.
If you're wondering why that out of Kyle Orton, it's the same way they got the touchdown. They came on a strong blitz to that side, so he had to throw it hot. They could not protect it. You get pressure from all 3 linebackers. There's no way for him to pick it up, so now he's got to throw the hot to the outside. So you're saying, why in the world would you throw that on 3rd down and 10? Because the Eagles forced him to.
So now you got Bailey to try to make it a 1-possession lead going into halftime, but it'll be a 44-yard attempt. Philadelphia will receive the second half kickoff. Bailey with 18 straight from 44 away. And Bailey right down the middle. So Dallas answers the Philadelphia touchdown with 3 points to make it 17-10 with 18 seconds remaining in the half.
How about a little NBC at 360 that we do here in Cowboys Stadium? You're going to see the split action here by these 2 guys that we've talked about before, LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson. Now man coverage is going to force Kyle Wilber to play LaShawn McCoy on the outside, man-to-man with the head of steam, with momentum, and outside linebackers are just not going to be able to keep up with that.
Yardage in the half just about even. The Eagles 239, Dallas 234. So the numbers are about equal, but those 2 turnovers resulting in 10 Philadelphia points. The difference right now, 17-10, Philadelphia with 18 seconds.
And it happened so fast after the turnover too, didn't it? It was like these Eagles just jump on you if you make a mistake.
Bailey sends that one out of the end zone. McCoy, one big day for him, sets the franchise rushing record, eclipsing the mark set by Wilbert Montgomery, which had held since 1979. He can get the yards from scrimmage record later tonight because that's Brian Westbrook, who's aboard on NBC SNF Extra, showing with 34 plus 5 would do it is 39 yards. And he came into the game already having cinched the rushing title for the 2013 season. Kneel down will end it. And with the winner going to the playoffs and the loser finished for the season, it's a 7-point game at halftime. Philadelphia 17, Dallas 10. And coming up next, it'll be the Toyota halftime after these messages from your NBC station. NFC East Championship at stake. Philly, Dallas. The numbers almost across the board are pretty close to dead even. The difference would be the 2 turnovers by Dallas, leading to 10 Philadelphia points in the first half. What struck your fancy, Chris?
Well, almost 500 yards of offense in that first half, and I thought DeMarco Murray, our Burger King inside edge here, really set the tone early in this one with some really physical finishes to his runs. So excited to get an opportunity to lead this offense, some of it legal, some of it possibly not, but establish how they wanted to play. But it was Michael Kendricks, the emerging star of this Philadelphia Eagles defense, forced the fumble early on to stop the Cowboys' first drive, and then came up with the interception off the hands of Jason Witten. And that really was the difference in the half. And that's the Burger King Inside Edge. Check out more insights from tonight on NBC Sports Live Extra. But a good game.
Very good game. Game 256 of the regular season. Again, the Eagles with a win or a tie get the 3-seed host the Saints. The Cowboys with a win, obviously advancing to the playoffs. They are number 3, and they would host the Saints here next Saturday. The Eagles get the second half kickoff. Jason Witten couldn't handle that one pass. Resulted in the turnover, resulted in an ensuing touchdown as Bailey's kick goes over the head of Brad Smith. The 20 they'll go, and we go to Michelle.
Well, Chip Kelly told me at halftime he's happy with the way his offense is moving the ball. As for Nick Foles getting sacked twice, he said they'd shore up their pass protection. Defensively, he'd like to see more pressure on Kyle Orton. Meanwhile, Jason Garrett told me he's really pleased with the way Kyle Orton played this first half. He said he was poised and showed command. Defensively, he'd like his group to just get after. He said, Philly attacks you in so many ways. We've got to just keep battling.
All right, thank you, Michelle. Well, there's no question that Orton looks like a guy who has a lot of experience. 70 starts. The Dallas defense has given up a lot of yardage, but 17 points, and 10 of those coming off turnovers. And they start with play action, and Foles is going to get sacked. Devontae Holloman, the rookie, who's been in coverage downfield and has gotten burned a couple of times, that time comes roaring through for the sack.
Here he comes right around this way, and again it is the coverage down the field. Take away that first look, and Nick Foles has a tendency when he doesn't like it and pressure is underway, he has a way of dropping his eyes and losing focus down the field and almost willingly taking those sacks. Big start for the Cowboys defense.
9-yard sack, 2nd and 19, and then it's McCoy with a big run out to the 27-yard line. So on 2nd and 19, right through the middle goes McCoy for 16 yards.
Well, this has been the story of this game, really, because the Eagles keep converting on these long yardage situations after the Cowboys make a big play to push them back.
Fake to McCoy. Foles hanging in. Almost gets sacked and then gets it away. And again, they want intentional grounding. It was Nick Hayden who came in. And he won't get the flag there, but it is a 3-and-out despite that 16-yard run by McCoy.
Yeah, pretty close here. They get pressure, and Nick Hayden, one of those guys who has sort of come off the scrap heap this year, didn't play football a season ago. George Selby picked up at the very end, and they have somehow cobbled together this defensive line with still a chance to win this division.
Donnie Jones sending it Harris's way, 23-yard line. Harris looking for some room. And to the 34 he goes, an 11-yard return, and that's where Dallas takes over for the first time in the second half in a 7-point game. First half stats, I mentioned almost everything is even except for that one category, turnovers, right there. 2 by Dallas, 1 a fumble, 1 a pick, leading to 10 Philadelphia points.
I'll tell you, if Dallas comes back and wins this thing, that stop right there to start the second half will show up big.
Now the Cowboys come up to the 34-yard line. Orton will take the snap out of the gun. Bunch 3 receivers to the right. Give it to Murray. DeMarco Murray plugging his way up to the 37-yard line. Let's take a look at this motion by Kyle Orton.
And we talked about the pure over-the-top delivery. This is a motion we haven't seen a whole lot. Look, that final extension up and over the top has really allowed Orton to get the ball over the defenders and not getting that ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. He talks about it. He said, as a backup quarterback, what else you do? You work on your throwing motion all the time. He feels like he's throwing the ball better than he ever has.
Or your 9-iron. He's pretty good, too. He's about a 3 handicap, is Orton. 2nd and 7. Pass caught by Murray, but he gets taken down out in the flat by Kendricks. The backup, by the way, now there is John Kitna, 41 years old, hasn't played in 2 years. And the Cowboys needed a backup quarterback. So Jason Garrett the other day gets a text from an area code he doesn't know. He gets a text the next day. He looks it up. It's Tacoma, Washington. He says, that must be Kitna. And John says, I'll come and help you out. And sure enough, they signed Kitna. He's going to make about $50,000 being on the roster tonight. And he's going to give it to the school at which he is the head football coach in Tacoma and a math teacher.
Lincoln High School, the Fighting A's is what I understand their name is. I love that.
3rd down and 7.
They got him again.
Yep. Well, a free play, but incomplete. At least they're going to pick up the 5. That's going to make it 3rd down and 2. Here's Gene Steratore.
Offside. Defense, number 91. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Now, I couldn't tell if the whistle blew there or not, but that you have a chance to finish that play, and everybody on the Cowboys, seeing that they jumped off sides, kind of stopped, including the receiver. Kyle Orton tried to finish it, which is what they all need to be doing. That's the 3rd time now they've done that and sort of shut it down on the snap.
Yeah, 6 penalties and none for Dallas. 3rd down, 2. Witten moving. The toss to Murray, trying to get around the corner, and he will for a 1st down. Patrick Chung making the tackle. Cowboys move the chains.
Well, Miles Austin comes down and makes a good block on the edge right here, and then it's Tyron Smith coming out and around. What an athlete he is. Tyron Smith, when you watch him, when I first saw him playing tackle in the NFL, I just didn't think a whole lot of him. His footwork was terrible. They have coached him up here, and now it's about as fluid as any tackle you'll see.
He was the youngest player in the league when he came in. He was only 20 out of USC. Quick flip to the outside. Austin makes his first catch of the game. Picks up about 6. We go to Michelle.
Well, more on John Kitna. He told me he only contacted the Cowboys, Al, because they didn't have a quarterback in the fold who knew the system. As he put it, people don't know how hard it is to simply call a play in an NFL huddle. So without telling his wife, he texted Garrett, and after Garrett showed interest, Kitna told his family, got universal support, but he said, I'm an emergency quarterback. If he had to play tonight, Al, he said that wouldn't be good for anyone.
No, it wouldn't, Michelle. Well, Roger Staubach was unavailable, so they went to Kitna. 2nd down and 4. From the 46. Orton fires and Witten makes the catch. Over the middle he goes to the 26-yard line.
Jason Witten, nice move on Michael Kendricks that time into one-on-one coverage on the outside, dips back underneath. But the battle royal that is going on inside is Trent Cole and Tyron Smith. These 2 guys are just slugging it out now on every single play. So much on the line for these 2 teams. But look how Orton, with that high delivery, is keeping the ball low and not allowing for those tip passes.
That's 8 catches now for Witten for 84 yards. 8 of the 18 Orton completions. have gone to his tight end. Good protection. Pass caught. Moving to the outside. And that is Bryant. Bryant pretty much in check tonight. Haven't let him get deep. There's Bryant now with a total of 4 catches for 30 yards.
Yeah, but you know that Jason Garrett, and he was telling us a story that at one point when he was calling the plays, they had all these game plan, all these things they were going to do, and they said, forget it. Just throw the ball to Des Bryant. We're going to throw it to him every single time. He's one of those guys, when he's covered, he's open. Give him a chance to make a play.
Lines up against Kerry Williams from the 21-yard line on a 2nd and 4. Murray, and he will not get out of the backfield. Great pursuit by the Eagles that time. Cedric Thornton leading the way. Boykin coming up for support. 3rd and 8 after a loss of 4.
This Cedric Thornton's an interesting story. Undrafted, and it just didn't look like he was going to be a factor at all as a 4-3 defensive end. They switched to the 3-4, and a 34 end is much more of a run player. This is a guy that loves playing the run, protecting the linebackers, doing it that way, and now he's been a perfect fit for this defense.
Brian Williams flank to the right. Third and 8. Blitz coming, going deep, jump ball, and incomplete. Intended for Bryan, and that's Boykin back there with the coverage. And Trent Cole able to get in on Orton.
Anytime both linebackers are up in that gap, that means the linemen have to block down. Trent Cole came free off the edge. It's just one-on-one on the outside, throw it up. And that is a huge play by Brandon Boykin. Perfectly done on the outside against the Cowboys' best.
43-yard attempt now coming for Bailey. And Dan Bailey has his 2nd of the game. A tick less than 9 minutes to go in the 3rd. It's a 4-point game, the battle for the NFC East. With the best host to help you ring in the new year, Carson Daly, live on New Year's Eve with performances from Mariah Carey, Blake Shelton, and more. New Year's Eve with Carson Daly, Tuesday night, 10 Eastern here on NBC. Speaking of Roger Staubach, there he is.
So he would be the 3rd quarterback tonight.
He is the 3rd quarterback tonight.
Probably teaching English somewhere. Get all the teachers back there.
The old house goalie in NHL in days of yore. Touchback here. And Philadelphia takes over at the 20 when we come back. 2013 Philadelphia story. Chip Kelly takes over. Beautiful win on opening night in a Monday night game. 33 points. Beat the Redskins, but lost the next 3. Then Foles took over when Vic got hurt, and after Foles got concussed, came back to 7 touchdowns against Oakland. Beat the Lions in a blizzard in Philly a couple of weeks back with McCoy setting a rushing record, team rushing record. Trampled the Bears last week after losing to Minnesota. So they won 6 of their last 7. Kelly trying to get the team to the playoffs for the first time in 3 seasons. This drive begins from the 20-yard line. First down. Foles buying time. Chased and throws, and it's caught on the run. Zach Ertz shadowing him as he came across to the right side, and Ertz makes the catch for a first down.
Well, we've talked about the play calling before, but it's Chip Kelly calling directly into Nick Foles, and then all the position coaches or one of their representatives on the sideline signaling in the play to their specific position group and the snap count, so they can truly go to the line of scrimmage without saying a word and get this play off.
From the 34. Boy to the outside. Ware won't let him get to the outside. To the 33-yard line.
Well, DeMarcus Ware may not get credit for a lot of sacks or anything else, but he has done a fantastic job setting the edge on LaShawn McCoy. They are not letting him beat them to the outside the way he did against the Bears a week ago.
Loss of 1, second down and 11. Blitz coming, Foles under pressure, passes incomplete, and you always look for a flag on a play like that. You don't get one. Carter covering Selleck It'll be 3rd and 11.
Bruce Carter was definitely a little handsy, as they say, in that coverage. Here comes the next play call in, and it's a big one. 3rd down now, and for the Dallas Cowboys, their pressure is starting to get close. Can they deliver on another sack here?
3rd and 11. Trips right. 4-man rush. Foles under pressure, and he's going to go down. And the ball is out. He gets sacked at the 22. Who has it at the 20? Dallas. DeMarcus Ware recovered it. Jason Hatcher forced it.
All right, here's Selby right here is going to come in and get the initial pressure, going right through the rookie Lane Johnson, and then it's Jason Hatcher there to clean it up, and DeMarcus Ware falls on it. And for the Dallas Cowboys, who have been behind strictly because of the turnovers, now with the chance to win this division. Nick Foles under pressure. I've seen it before. He does not want to turn the football over. He tends to hold it in that situation, and the Cowboys now are starting to take advantage.
First Philadelphia turnover. Halfway through the quarter. Orton throwing to Witten, and Witten will get wrapped up, and Michael Kendricks will take him out of bounds for no gain.
Well, but here now, and there's Jason Hatcher on the sideline, here now is where the Cowboys have to get it done. I've always felt in the NFL, it's easy to move the ball between the 20s. Champions score from here. And when you put in a new quarterback, you don't have a lot of experience together down here in the red zone, and this is really where the Cowboys have to start making some plays.
2nd down and 9. Picked up a 1 on the last play. And Orton will give it to Murray, but the pressure is on, but Murray is able to escape and turn what would have been about a 6-yard loss into no gain. So it'll be 3rd down and 9. Trent Cole bursting through again.
That's a good call, Al. I think Trent Cole flashes in the face of Murray here, and he takes his eye off of it, and he wants to cut back, but Kyle Orton is there and has to hand the ball off. Very lucky are the Cowboys there that didn't turn into a disaster. Cole in the backfield, Murray reacted to it, and that's a play that more often than not you see a fumble.
He had 3 green shirts surrounding him, and he was able to get it back at least to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 9. Orton's going to throw it to the outside. This is Murray, but he's forced out of bounds by Barwin. So a golden opportunity, but then they can only gain about 3 yards on 3 plays, and will have to settle for a Bailey field goal attempt.
Well, and that's not good for the Dallas Cowboys to come in there and do like that. But watch Connor Barwin, number 98 there. Here's a guy that has truly sacrificed his own game for the good of the Philadelphia Eagles. He is a traditional 3-4 linebacker, had 11.5 sacks with Houston, has agreed to basically be the drop linebacker on this team so Trent Cole can rush the quarterback.
36-yard attempt. Bailey's already hit from 44 and 43. And the turnover results in a field goal. Well, this is the way the season should end. In a game like this, 5:38 left in the 3rd. It's a 1-point game. Night football being brought to you by Verizon. Holiday savings on the gifts everyone wants. By Bud Light, official beer sponsor of the NFL. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Downtown Dallas. And now back to Arlington, to AT&T Stadium. Crowd tonight is 91,166. And they see in a beauty. It's a 1-point game. Philadelphia is going to get the ball. And it will be down to the end zone by Brad Smith. Foles. Take a look at this. Aaron Rodgers has the all-time highest pass rating for a season back in 2011, 122.5. Then you got Peyton Manning. Then you got Foles right now up to the minute 120.1. I mean, it's a complicated formula. whatever it means. It just shows you when a guy has a good year. Rodgers had a good year. Foles is having a good year. But he did cough up the ball, which doesn't hurt your pass rating on the last series. Here's McCoy. Maybe Kittner should teach that in his math class. How you compute that?
I tell you, earlier in the game, we saw Sean Lee coaching up Devontae Holloman. And for a guy in just his second start, this young man has made some plays out here tonight. He has been a presence, especially in his pass rush.
And they get this pass off in a hurry, going deep downfield and too deep. Deshaun Jackson looks for a flag and doesn't get one. Covered by Brandon Carr. So they quick snapped it, and it's 3rd down and 10.
Well, Brandon Carr was sick a week ago and really did not play very well. Pierre Garçon ate him up pretty well. And you see Jackson was trying to draw a flag already. They went for the quick snap, but the Cowboys have done a masterful job tonight getting lined up.
Send McCoy out to the right, empty the backfield. Pressure on Foles again, being chased, throwing, out of bounds. So that defense, Jason Hatcher chasing him, does the job again. It's another 3 and out to get the ball back for Dallas very quickly.
I tell you, Jason Hatcher is just having a monster game. This time coming around on the stunt. Here's a guy with 11 sacks now. He leads this team in sacks. Only 2 other defensive tackles in the NFL lead their team in sacks, and his presence has been huge. Should have been in the Pro Bowl this year.
Donnie Jones is going to back Harris up. From the 32, he drops it, and then it's all he can do just to fall on the football at the 30-yard line. 4:55 left in the third. 17-16 Eagles. Saturday, the playoffs kick off on NBC. Wildcard doubleheader. You'll see at 4:30 Eastern time. The first game, KC against Indy. Game 2 will be New Orleans against the winner of this game in either Arlington or Philadelphia, all beginning at 4 o'clock Eastern time with football night in America. That's next Saturday, both games right here on the Peacock. From the 30-yard line, this drive begins with Murray, gain of 1. Kendricks makes the tackle. If it's Foles against Breeze, you got 2 guys from the same high school in Austin. If it's Breeze against Foles, 2 guys from Purdue.
Watch this Michael Kendricks play. Dick LeBeau's got to be salivating, wishing he had this guy as an inside linebacker. Much like the Pittsburgh Steelers, you want linebackers that can get one-on-one situations with tight ends and backs and run sideline to sideline. And this guy has been flashing for the last 2 weeks, really, that we've been watching.
Sean Lee, the quarterback of the defense, and Civvies on the Dallas bench. 2nd down and 9. Orton stepping up, Orton going deep and incomplete. One Williams covers the other. Terrence, the intended receiver, and Carey with the coverage. 3rd and 9.
Kind of a strange play. Des Bryant was going down the sideline and really wasn't even running hard. I don't know if he saw the safety to that side and just assumed that he wasn't going to come that way, but you'll see Des sort of let off the gas here and with man coverage right on him. I think he just now is assuming that it made Allen. But then on the other side, you've got Kerry Williams who has to take Terrence Williams one-on-one. That's a tough assignment. And Kerry Williams has been fantastic for the Eagles so far this year.
Bryant wide left, Williams in the slot. Pass is thrown to Witten underneath. And the Dallas Cowboys, a quick 3 and out. That's Graham making the tackle. So they get the ball back, do the Cowboys, but can do nothing with it.
Well, you end up with Brandon Graham dropping in coverage because they bring all the linebackers to the inside, so that brings him out on Jason Witten. Now you got one-on-one. He has to make that tackle. There's nobody else around. Big play by Brandon Graham, who's not used to dropping. He has never played linebacker.
Chris Jones to punt. And Deshaun Jackson hauls it into the 25 and gets taken down after a good run back to the 46-yard line, a run back of 21 yards. Danny McRae makes the tackle. Jason Garrett in 1-possession games, he's had a lot of them, 36 of his first 55, decided by 8 points or fewer. And Tom Coughlin in his first 55 games, which would have been at Jacksonville, would have had that list. Garrett 19 and 17 in those 36. Boy, they've had some dramatic wins and some horrific losses. What will tonight bring? 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. Little toss to McCoy. There's Holloman at the 49-yard line. A lot of questions in Dallas, and some people think, well, you know, if Garrett hadn't made the playoffs or doesn't make the playoffs this year, he might be out. You know, you begin to wonder how the whole Romo thing affects that right now. Does Jerry say, you know, Garrett deserves to be back? He didn't have his quarterback in the last game, or what? What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think Jerry Jones wants to fire Jason Garrett. I think he will use anything in his power to keep him. Now, defensively, would they make a change? That's when it gets interesting.
Here's McCoy, and a big run to the outside he goes. Jason Peters will go to the Pro Bowl, helping to lead the way with a nice block, and that's a gain of 13 to the 38.
Anytime you see a big run, in general, it's because that guy, Jason Kelsey, is getting out on linebackers or safeties. Devontae Holloman, we've seen him make tackles all night long. Not that time. Jason Kelsey shut him down.
38-yard line, 1st down. Can McCoy swing to the outside again? Yes, he can. And that should be a 1st down. So he's working the edge, getting to the edge, and another 1st down.
Again, we've been talking about it all night, but on the outside, you know McCoy's going to dip inside and then circle outside of you. That time, Jarius Wynn had the outside position, had it right there. Then he tries to sling Lane Johnson off of him and gave it up. Can't do it. You have to play your position.
McCoy out and Polk is in. McCoy's carried 16 times. He has 90 rushing yards tonight. And Foles has time and finds the open man, and that's Brent Selleck. And Selleck will take the ball to the 6-yard line and a 1st and goal.
Well, I've got to think Bruce Carter blew that coverage here on the outside. Jason Peters this time saw the stunt by Holloman coming around, and that's what gave Nick Foles time to do it. But Bruce Carter on the outside, everybody else was in man coverage. He had to be also, and he just did not pick up Brent Selleck.
A minute and a half left in the quarter. 1st and goal from the 6. Give it to Deshaun Jackson. And that's a Brad Smith, rather. Brad Smith's going to throw, and incomplete. Brad Smith came around. You had Ertz, the intended receiver, in the end zone. And the man who did so many things with the Jets and the Bills through the years, especially out of the Wildcat, is incomplete here.
He wants to throw it to Nick Foles back across this way. The only way you can throw this pass back to a quarterback is if he's in shotgun. They obviously were. And then a little chance there by Brad Smith trying to continue on with that play. But obviously Chip Kelly not afraid to do anything.
Yeah, he'll do anything at any time. Now you got Jackson circling, Foles throwing to the end zone, incomplete. Much too high. It'll be 3rd down and goal from the 6.
You know, this is the play. If you're Nick Foles, you have to throw the ball to Deshaun Jackson. You get one of the most dynamic athletes going to be out here one-on-one against one guy. You take that throw and you let him beat somebody for a touchdown.
3rd and goal. Foles throws, and it's caught, and can he get in? They stop him just shy. Deshaun Jackson stopped by Brandon Carr at the 3-inch line. 4th and goal. And they're going to come up to try to catch Dallas without making any defensive substitutions.
Want to keep all those goal line defenders on the sideline.
Kenny, what happens here? You got a flag as Foles had to reach down for the snap. A little conference going on right here.
They're pointing like maybe a timeout to Dallas.
You got the whole crew in there right now. Here's Steratore.
Prior to any fouls, Dallas has called their first timeout of the half. It will be a 30-second timeout. With the game clock operator, please put 38 seconds on the clock. 38 seconds on the game clock, please. Thank you.
There's one reason you take a timeout, because that's what your defense looks like right now.
Well, we heard Jason Witten say before the game, leave everything you've got on the field. Looks like those guys have. And now you get the interesting call. 4th and goal. We talked about it a little bit during the break, but Al, you're right. If you miss this one, at least you're leaving it here. But a field goal would have forced the Cowboys to score a touchdown, something they haven't done well in the red zone so far.
Foles, can he get in? And they're going to have to unpile and see where he got. Dallas stops him. Now, since it's not a scoring play, if Kelly wants to challenge this, he can challenge it. But can you find the ball in this pile?
There is a second surge, but if you could see the ball clearly enough to call that a touchdown, your eyes are better than mine.
You have lasers.
I don't think I would challenge this. The timeout is more valuable. I just don't think there's enough there.
Agreed. You can't see it. I mean, you can't see where the ball is.
Wow, and the ball slips just a bit, and maybe just enough to force him to hesitate and allow the Cowboys to get there.
And there's no conclusive evidence on the field. The play is over by the time he reaches out and puts it on the goal line. So no challenge. Dallas with a gigantic stop, but now they got to get out of the shadow of the goalpost from the 1-yard line, and Orton will start by getting it to Bryant to the 20-yard line. Well, they do it immediately. Chung makes the tackle. Clock ticking down, 20 seconds to the end of the period.
Well, the Eagles were thinking what you were out. We're going to get a safety out of it. They got one last week against the Bears, one-on-one on the outside. Des Bryant comes up huge. You think that shows a little confidence in Kyle Orton?
Well, that's going to take us to the 4th quarter and the final regular season game of the season.
All right.
Crazy. 17-16. Philadelphia Sunday Night Football resumes after these messages. Tonight's aerial coverage being brought to you by Geico. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Michelle Tafoya. Final regulation quarter of the regular season. 17-16 the score. Philly on top, winning to the playoffs. Loser is done. From the 19-yard line, Kyle Orton with an empty backfield. 180! Had a nice night. 23 of 33 for 234. Over the middle, Witten makes the catch. To the 35 goes Jason Witten. Backup quarterback's best friend is Garrett, put in 11 catches, 99 yards for him.
Well, you see Nate Allen creeping down, and that gave Jason Witten the clue that Connor Barwin was going to blitz off the edge. And I tell you, Kyle Orton is not missing any of that, and
Well, Witten limps off. He was in some distress earlier. So he comes out. You got Escobar and Hanna in the game. Escobar's already scored a touchdown tonight. From the 35. And Orton throws it incomplete with nobody hanging there. 2nd down.
now the pressure really moves to Des Bryant if Jason Witten is out for any time at all. And so far, these corners of the Eagles have really done a pretty good job. Has there been double coverage on occasion, a safety? Yes, there has, but there have been plenty of occasions where they've had to take Des one-on-one, and they've gotten the job done. Tried a little double move here against Kerry Williams. That didn't work either. At some point, Des needs to make one of his signature plays where he just goes up and physically beats his man. These are big corners, though.
He had back issues last week. Witten is back in the game, so out only one play. And the pass is caught by Miles Austin, who takes it to the Eagle 49-yard line. 16 yards.
Sort of the forgotten man here, Miles Austin. And Jason Garrett telling us this week, here's a guy that has been a non-factor, the hamstring and all the different things. He said, but we know when he's right. We know physically when we see him on the practice field running like Miles Austin can run. And he thought that this could be the night that Miles Austin finally emerges. Good time for it right there.
Just has to stay healthy. 2 catches for 22 yards for him. from the 49. Blitz coming. Orton launching one and incomplete, and Bryant just for a moment looked like he might have been held for a second, but no. Carrie Williams with the coverage, 2nd down and 10.
You know, the Eagles now and Billy Davis not afraid to dial up these blitzes. Everybody's coming. This is straight man-to-man coverage. This is when your superstar wide receiver has to be able to win the battle, and that time Kyle Orton just didn't give him a chance. Dez is too good playing the ball in the air. You have to give him a chance in that situation.
Needs a breather. He's on the sideline, 2nd down and 10. Cole Beasley takes his spot.
This is man coverage because you've got Michael Kendricks out here on DeMarco Murray.
Murray, bottom of the screen. Pass is juggled, caught, and that is Cole Beasley to the 41-yard line, stumbling, but able to hang on. Grimaces as he gets up, gain of 7, 3rd and 3.
Sort of running one of those Wes Welker kind of routes on the outside. And now it is really just becoming a game where Kyle Orton and all the money that Jerry Jones has paid him to be the backup quarterback for one moment in time. Whenever Tony Romo went down, they expected him to win this football game. And so far you have to say he's done a heck of a job.
Bryant back in, split to the right. Give it to Murray on a 3rd and 3. Tries to get a block from Smith, but he's going to come up a yard short. So Murray gets stopped at the 40-yard line. Now what do you do? Trent Cole is there. Easy for the crowd to say go for it. This is a tough call. 4th and 1 from the 40. What do you do?
Well, you know, if you're Jason Garrett and all you hear about is your 4th quarter losses and what's been going on, I think you're going to see him go for it. At the very least, remember Kyle Orton has drawn this defense off at least 3 times tonight. So expect the hard count, but that play was a pretty good one right there.
From the 40, Garrett after asking for quiet. Orton on a roll. Orton throws and it's knocked down. It's incomplete. Connor Barwin, a roll to the right, and the Eagles with a gigantic stop. They take over at the 40. Still a 1-point game. As usual, the golf tour starts the new year in Hawaii. The Hyundai Tournament of Champions starts Friday, continuing next Sunday, both on Golf Channel and on NBC. Back we come to AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. First down for Philadelphia after that stop on a 4th down play, and they begin from the 40-yard line, and this is McCoy, unable to get out of the backfield. Devontae Holloman is right there. What a play by Barwin, Chris.
Yeah, and here's a guy that played 2 years of basketball at a very good program, the University of Cincinnati, has a 40.5-inch vertical jump. That is NBA worthy, and this time really made Kyle Orton pay for that strange calling that they went on a quick count on that play.
2nd and 10, and that pass is caught. That's Riley Cooper cutting over the middle, taking it to the 41-yard line of Dallas, tackled by Claiborne. 8 and 19.
We all know the story of Riley Cooper, but you just have to wonder what would this Eagles team have been without him this season. And probably his biggest defender was Jason Avant, the guy that would have ascended to the starting role, but for the good of the team stood up for Riley Cooper, and it has really made a difference for them.
From the 41. McCoy, and he'll find that crease and gain 9. Tackled by Holloman and Everett Brown.
Well, you see a lot of unbalanced lines with the Philadelphia Eagles there, and really all that does is just put an extra offensive lineman to the play side, and it's going to allow that time Evan Mathis to sort of get out in front. But here we have the 2 starting tackles right out here, so you've got a lot of beef on that side and really nobody there to stop LaShawn McCoy.
2nd down and 2 from the 33. McCoy again, and taken down a little short by Hayden. He now has the yards from scrimmage record, rushing yards plus receiving yards, another thing that he can put into his dossier.
Well, I know quarterback's the most important position, but outside of that, I think that guy's the best football player in the league.
3rd and 1. Another big stop for Dallas here. McCoy. And he does get the first down. He's able to find a gap over the left side. First down to the 30-yard line. It's 101 rushing yards for him tonight on 20 carries.
Well, Evan Mathis right here is just going to have to hang on, and he's in there working against Corby Irvin, and just good enough. And so now the Philadelphia Eagles in that top rushing game in the NFL is starting to take over.
Bryce Brown comes in now with McCoy getting a breather. The open man here is Avant. Gain of about 6 to the 24. Scandrick makes the tackle.
One thing the Dallas Cowboys have done is they were worried about the ability to get lined up against this quick strike team, so they basically have a default call that they call at the beginning of every series. If they get in trouble, they go whatever the keyword is, and that's the defense they're playing for the entire series of that play.
2nd and 4. Brown, and he may have gotten the first down. He did, spinning around, taking Irvin with him, and he crosses the 20 to move the chains.
And we saw Bryce Brown last week take off with a long one. Remember what he did a year ago. Had the fumbling issues. Hasn't fumbled once so far this season, but had 2 games over 150 yards and really flashed. Hasn't had quite the number of opportunities, but boy, do they love his potential.
Great backup back. First down for the Eagles. Under 8 to play in regulation. Here goes McCoy again. I tell you what, one of these teams is going to be sick after this game because it's coming down to the end. Who would be the sickest team? Who's the Pepto-Bismol team tonight? Is it Pittsburgh when Kansas City can't beat San Diego with a chance to do it at the end? Is it Miami with the chance to? Is it Chicago?
I think it's the loser of this one. These two teams have spilled their guts out here, and somebody's going home and going away for the year.
2nd and 7. And here goes McCoy, and he's close to a first down. Then a spot at just short of the 10, setting up a 3rd and very short again. There's Michael Vick, of course, start of the season as the quarterback got hurt.
Here's the stack on the outside, and what it does is it forces those 2 defensive backs about 20 yards away from the end of the line of scrimmage, and then they run McCoy right off that edge without any support.
And here goes McCoy, and not only does he get the first down, he's going to chew up some more clock here. 6:42 and ticking down. 1st and goal.
You know, so many people think of Chip Kelly's offense as being this offense with, you know, bells and whistles and motions and all the different things. And yet what they have been at the fundamental heart of it is a power running football team that can take it and drive it down your throat. And it's exactly what they're doing here.
From the 6. And give it to Brown, swinging to the outside and taking it into the end zone. Touchdown Eagles. Bryce Brown taking it in, and with the extra point, can make it an 8-point game.
One guy you never hear about is this guy, James Casey. Watch him coming up and making the block. I thought some of his blocks against the Bears a week ago was really the difference in that one. And then Bryce Brown, what an impressive drive that was. Nick Foles going to carry out the fake, little hocus pocus. That's how you win a championship in the NFC East, or at least it used to be that way.
Well, Dallas couldn't convert on 4th down. Gave the ball away at the 40. That's a 60-yard drive. 11 plays. The Dallas Cowboys heading down the stretch and down by 8 in the battle for the NFC East title. Your fantasy season not over. You can play the NFL Playoff Challenge. Possibly win a trip to Super Bowl 49, which will be in the Bay Area next year. Sign up at NFL.com/fantasy. Actually in Arizona. It's our game.
There you
How
go.
you doing? Good. I'm already way ahead of myself.
You're a happy
50s
guy.
in the Bay Area.
Is that right?
That's what. Oh yeah. 49ers' new stadium. Lost track of my Roman numerals. What else is there? 6:09 remaining in regulation is the kickoff. He's taken in the end zone and down there, and Kyle Orton and company down by 8 points. Start this drive from the 20. When we come back on Sunday Night Football. This is the 4th time since 08 the Cowboys have been in a win-or-go-home game in the final week of the season. Counting tonight, 12 turnovers in Philly in 08, against the Giants in 11, against the Redskins last year, and now tonight. 6:09 remaining in regulation. Cowboys begin from the 20. Orton over the middle, and that's caught. Bryant looking for some room, picks up a first down to the 33, tackled by D'Amico Ryans.
Well, in the NBA, this time of the game, you start putting the ball in the hands of your superstars and LeBron James and company and get the heck out of the way. Same thing works in football. And Des Bryant now, you saw he was probably a little winded, took some breaks, but now he's going to have to do it. He and Jason Witten are probably going to be the guys on this drive that they're going to focus on.
Just looking ahead, Dallas had to use a timeout on defense, so they have 2. Orton deep over the middle. Great catch by Witten. And Witten takes the ball to the 33-yard line. Patrick Chung with the coverage. Witten, great catch on the dead run, 35 yards.
You can't play coverage any better than Michael Kendricks did here, but what a catch. That is just one of those that you believe your guy is better than their guy, and Kyle Orton has just put it right on the money. You talk about no sign of nerves. Kyle Orton tonight has just answered the bell. Now is where they've struggled, though. Down here with a chance to score touchdowns.
Orton 320 yards. And
offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
They have the big gain. That's the first penalty tonight against the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, that seemed a little quick, didn't it?
Very.
They barely got up to the line of scrimmage, and obviously the play clock starts at 40.
To 4 minutes and 50 seconds. 4:50 on the game clock, please.
Well, let's take a look. We have the play clock.
Thank you.
What happened here? There's Witten. It's the end of the play. It starts there. Oh, there it is.
That's not supposed to happen.
No, it's not supposed to happen. That is bogus.
Really bad. That's really bad.
The play clock has to go to 40 and start from there. So the Cowboys get screwed on that situation, and then the pass is incomplete, intended for Jason Witten. It'll be 2nd down and 15.
And it changes everything. It changes, it takes away probably a first down run possibility. And of course, Jason doesn't know what happened and to see that whole thing transpire. Yep. It's just terrible. You don't want to see the officiating get in the way of a great game. Right. And it is dead in the way of that play.
I don't know what you do with that stuff. You have somebody upstairs called down, you tell me. So many stoppages to begin with.
But just a gut feel of that happened too fast.
Oh, we knew it.
It just happened too fast.
And you saw why. 2nd down and 15. Blitz coming. Orton throwing over the middle. It's caught by Bryant. Bryant trying to escape. But Fletcher able to make the tackle, sandwiched by Williams as well. And you got a big 3rd and 9 coming up here.
Well, and what happens now is when you get in a 2nd and long, it allows the defense to blitz, force you to throw these hot reads, and then come up and make the tackle. So instead of now being a 2nd or 3rd down and 4, you end up in 3rd down and 9, and now everything is open to Billy Davis, and this is probably where you get another blitz.
4 minutes left in regulation. Nickel defense, 3 wide. There's the pass. Incomplete, intended for Bryant. Crowd, of course, wants a flag. Don't get one. Carey Williams with the coverage on the play.
It's absolutely what you got. You got the blitz because of the mistake by the officials. Let's start there. But let's finish with Carey Williams. And what a job these corners are doing on the outside. So there's the tackle. We're going back now to the original play, 40 seconds. Switches to 25, which it should not. There should be 40 seconds from the end of that play. and it has cost the Cowboys, and now they're in a position where they're going to have to go for it here on 4th down.
Gets set at 25. It's an out-of-bounds play that stops the clock, but that clearly in the middle of the field, forcing Dallas to go for it. 4th and 9. Ooh, now Orton's going to take a timeout, and that's, I don't know to tell you how valuable that one is. Ooh, baby. And Jerry and Stephen Jones left of the screen right there. Boy, how many times they see this like every week. And the Cowboys have played more crazy games, I think, over the past 3 or 4 years than any team in the league.
It's frustrating, though, isn't it? To see that, a game that's played this well, and Jeffrey Lurie, of course, on the other side, has done such a great job. And I guarantee you, even as an owner on the other side, you want to see it officiated perfectly. And I'm not necessarily blaming the officials on the field. You've got clock operators. There's a lot of moving parts to this thing, but it has definitely changed the play calling of this sequence, this most important sequence of the game.
So it's 4th down and 9. And Dallas down to 1 timeout plus the 2-minute warning if they don't convert. Orton throws. Bryant did catch. Bryant's on his way to the end zone. Touchdown. Broke away from Patrick Chung. And now the 2-point conversion.
Wow, what a risk by Billy Davis. This is a cover 0. There's no coverage, no safety in the middle of the field. One-on-one coverage. You break 1 tackle and you score a touchdown. Roll the dice in a big way, and Dez Bryant and Jason Witten made them pay on that drive. And in some ways, it's only fair.
Almost what the Bears did to Aaron Rodgers at the end of the game in Chicago today. The Cowboys 1 for 3 on 2-point conversions. This to tie the game. Play clock is down to 3. And incomplete. Intended for Bryant. Carrie Williams with the coverage. So still a 2-point game. Philly's going to get the ball. Dallas can stop the clock once plus the 2-minute warning. 24-22 on closing night. Sunday Night Football brought to you by FedEx One Rate, by the Samsung Galaxy. The next big thing is here. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by BMW, we only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Holiday lights at the mile-and-a-half Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth. Okay, a 2-point game. Bryant, the target on that 2-point conversion. Williams was providing the coverage. Cowboys can stop it once on their own and at the 2-minute warning.
Eagles playing for an onside kick. I doubt you get one, though. So that's going to stay in the field of play. This is interesting.
You got Brad Smith at the 5-yard line. And they'll come to the outside and step out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Back to the 2-point conversion.
First of all, you take your shot out here against a guy that I think has been really dominant in the game, and Kerry Williams makes the play again. One more time, perfectly done, knock it away. Jason Witten right here, though. I mean, this is a big-bodied guy. You're going to have it. You're just going to have it. Try to go to the outside. It was those 2 stars all the way down, and I tell you, Kerry Williams, you have every right to brag a little. You've been fantastic tonight.
From the 16, the crowd rising as one. The towels waving. And they start on the ground with McCoy to the 19-yard line. Dallas is going to wait to take its timeout. Philly, of course, you would think is going to milk the clock for as much as they can. But now a team that never huddles is going to huddle because they do want to milk it down. 2nd and 8. If they get a stop here, this is where you take your time out on 3rd down. Assuming it's not 3rd and 1, then I don't know what you do. 2nd and 8 from the 18-yard line. Snap it with 6 on the play clock. McCoy to the 22. Now the Dallas Cowboys, 3rd down and about 4. And Garrett still is going to hold that timeout in his pocket. They do have to run a play before the 2-minute warning. It's going to pretty much come down to this right here.
Do you have enough confidence in Nick Foles to throw the ball here? You're going to get man coverage across the board. A simple little pick play of any kind probably gets it. But this is a young quarterback in a huge situation. Here come the Cowboys.
Fake to
There's
Jackson.
nobody there.
Pressure. Foles going to roll. He's going to stay in bounds, too. He's going to stay in bounds, which is good for Philadelphia. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Dallas still has its timeout.
LaShawn McCoy fell down on the play. He got knocked down, and there was nothing over there for Nick Foles.
That counts as a sack. That's the 5th of the night. So Dallas is going to get the ball back. A trip to the playoffs at stake in what's going to be a wild finish in Texas. Ready for Donnie Jones's punt. You've got Dwayne Harris, capable of great returns, but he's been hurt 3 of the last 4 weeks. He sets up at his own 37. Dallas to get the ball. They have 1 timeout left. Good deep kick. A boomer. From the 25. Harris can bring it back only to the 32-yard line. So they needed a big kick, and they got one. 56 yards. 7 on the return. Back to the stop.
Right over here, George Selvey is going to push Brent Selleck back into LaShawn McCoy, trip him up, and now there's nobody on that half of the field for Nick Foles. Good play by Foles, not throwing this ball away, just staying down, and he was looking for the late hit. I think that's a good no call there. And now here you go. How about this story with Kyle Orton now with a chance to win it and send his team to the playoffs.
358 yards, trying to set at least Bailey up for a field goal attempt. Bailey's career long is 53 yards. Orton starts. Oh, and it's intercepted at the 40-yard line by Brandon Boykin. Brandon Boykin with his 6th of the season. Woo. And that's the way it's going to end.
They're going to double out here on Witten, and then Kyle Orton comes late over there. He wanted to go to Witten. Instead, he throws it behind Miles Austin. And that young man right there has been absolutely huge. They were sweating it out. Were they going to get Brandon Boykin in the 4th round? And he has just been monstrous. And for Kyle Orton, oh my goodness.
And for Jerry Jones, it's another year of the season ending before January. 3 turnovers. That was the killer right there. Of course, the Cowboys so used to late game miscues in big games. And now they give it to McCoy. They can stop the clock once. They do it here, but that'll do it. Coming up after the game, the Wendy's post-game report. Michelle on the field with the stars of the game. Bob, Tony, and Mike Florio wrap it up. Chris and I look ahead to next Saturday's wild card matchups coming up on the Wendy's post-game report.
Wow. Billy Davis has been dialing up the pressure all night, but here he calls for the double team on Witten. It forces Kyle Orton to sort of make a quick throw to the outside, and there's that guy again. Now 6 interceptions to lead this team, and for Kyle Orton, oh man, pretty good all night long until it mattered most.
So it's 2nd down and 3 from the 28-yard line with 96 seconds. Give it to McCoy, and well, that's going to pretty much write an official finish to it because that's going to be a first down. Might have had a couple of ticks left had he not gotten it. So from 4-12, the Eagles are going to go to 10-6. 6-game improvement for Chip Kelly. He's going to take his team to the playoffs. The New Orleans Saints, a team that doesn't love to play outdoors, obviously, will have to do just that. We don't know what the weather's going to be like in Philadelphia next week, but it's not going to be like the Superdome. It'll be the Saints at Philadelphia.
When we think about what this team has overcome, the slow start defensively, and actually it was the first Dallas game that was their kind of breakthrough game. The Riley Cooper situation, they sort of galvanized around him. Chip Kelly in this offense had some really down moments, 3 points followed by 7 points the following week, and yet when everything was on the line, able to come into Dallas and put on this kind of a show after knocking off the Bears a week ago.
And that's the way the season's going to end for the Cowboys for the 3rd year in a row as they get beaten by each of their NFC East rivals. And Chip Kelly comes out of Oregon to take the Philadelphia Eagles to postseason play for the first time in 3 years.
And I'll say this, I don't think anybody's lining up and begging for the opportunity to play this Philadelphia Eagles team.
Well, the Saints will be there, and we will be there on NBC next Saturday night at Lincoln Financial Field. So for the Cowboys, it's another 8-8 year. 3 in a row. Wendy's post-game report is coming up, but first, these messages from your local NBC station.